What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another podcast video. I'm your host, Elijah. This is Uncut Podcast, where we keep everything real, raw, and refreshing. So today, I have no co-host, so I wanted to talk about one of my shows that I've been watching nonstop since last year, actually, which is The Circle, which is a reality show. If you guys don't know what the this show is, The Circle, and also if you hear me clicking, that's just me keep clicking into different tabs that I have open for my notes. So I'm going to just give you a quick rundown. If you guys don't know what The Circle is, I'm going to just give you a quick brief description of what it is. So it's hosted by Michelle Buteau. The Circle is a Netflix original reality series that includes aspects like isolation, social media, and human behavior to give us a perfect drama-filled entertainment program. $100,000 are at stake. Contestants move into different apartments in the same exact building and subsequently attempt to stay on top of the popularity curve. However, the catch is that they can only interact through the titular social media app, which is known as The Circle. So, of course, what ensues in the anomaly is a train wreck of misunderstandings and cattiness. Moreover, as we've seen, it allows the players to hide their true identity and play the game as whoever they please, with Jack and Lisa will be taking full advantage of. Now, if you guys don't know who Jack and Lisa is, I'll get into the entire cast of The Circle, who's in it, who got voted out, because we're already on episode 8. We're waiting for 9, 10, 11, and 12, and 13, which is going to be the finale, which announces the winner. But 9, 10, 11, 12 are I believe, still in the game. And then out of the top 5, it'll pick 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or at least that's what they did last season. They might change it up. They threw a bunch of new curveballs in this season that they never had in last season. So I'll just get right into it. So the season 2 recap. So I'm going through tabs as well. Also, if you guys don't follow me on, I'm just jumping through right now, just before I get right into my deep dive. If you guys don't follow me on any social media, I highly recommend you do. But if you do, you guys know I've been posting about Courtney. I've been Team Courtney since day one. I've actually listened to his podcast before he was on the show, not realizing it was him. And then I went back and I was like, oh wait, this is Courtney. This is the guy from his podcast. And ever since I've been posting about The Circle, Courtney's actually been looking at my Instagram stories. Mostly because I tag him. But either way, he's still looking. So, Courtney, I heard your podcast where you're not trying to pay anybody to be in anything. And I sure as hell would probably pay you to be in my podcast. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like you. I don't got that type of money. I mean, you got it now. But, I'm down to do a podcast with you if you are after the show's over. So we can talk about your experience in it. And talk about everything and anything Circle, because I applied to be in The Circle season 3. So let's see how that goes. I actually did apply. I have it up. I have to film an audition video, but other than that, I'm applied. It doesn't mean I got the job, obviously not, but we applied. So let me just get right through it. Again, spoilers if you guys haven't seen it, because I will be doing a very deep dive into this and just my thoughts, my theories. Of course, we want Courtney to win. Or Chloe, because she was on Too Hot to Handle, and she is too hot to handle. Who knew The Circle could just be strategic, just as underhanded as Survivor? So it's basically the same thing as Survivor. You can get voted off. There's immunity or influencer at this point, but basically the same thing. So it is season 2's first 4 episodes, which debuted 2 Wednesdays ago. I'm reading an article right now, so this is why I'm very into it. The first 4 episodes, which debuted Wednesday, we've seen much more cutthroat style of gameplay emerge compared to season 1, and that's what I said. There was many, many twists in this game that season 1 didn't have compared to season 2, which is crazy. One feud in particular has torn the group apart, with nasty accusations flying back and forth, and players are forced to choose which side. So week 1, we'll take a look at all the highlights, what happened, what went down, and everything. So here we go. Episode 1 introduces us to the first 8 players, including 5 real people: Savannah, Brian, Teralicia, Chloe, and Courtney. So those are 5 real people. And 3 catfish: Emily, played by Jack, Trevor, played by his wife, Delisa, and River, played by a much older Lee. Everybody gets along pretty well from the start, and Chloe, a veteran of Netflix Too Hot to Handle, takes an instant liking to Trevor, who's played by Delisa, his wife. A few suspicions are raised though, and when the first rating comes through, Savannah and Terralisha are named influencers with the chance to decide who gets blocked. So that means that they cannot be blocked, and they have like power of immunity basically over the other other 6 players. So pretty much Savannah and Terralisha were on the top, and they were killing it. But let's just keep reading. So the influencers also get a chance to save one player. And episode 2 opens with Terralisha saving Emily and Savannah saving Trevor. That leaves Chloe, Courtney, Bryant, and River on the chopping block. And after a poetry slam where there's one in danger, Penn odes the influencers. Oh, okay. Savannah and Terralisha head to the hangout room, which is basically the blocking room. It's where they talk about it, but there's 2 separate rooms facing one another with a wall in between, so you can't see who they are. They can't hear each other, obviously. They just chat through the circle. Savannah and Terralisha head to the hangout room, and they both agree Courtney and Rivers should stay. So it's down to Chloe or Bryant. Savannah is willing to dump Chloe, which makes Terralisha doubt her hashtag girl gang loyalties. The 2 are not clearly on the same page, and discussions turn borderline hostile before they come to a final decision. Savannah sticks with Terralisha with delivering the bad news. It's Bryant. He's just breathing through it like he always does, while Lee sobs at the sad news. Because Lee, played by River, and Bryant were talking very much well. They were becoming good friends. They were becoming really like on the same page, connecting well. And then Bryant left, and the reason it says breathing well, breathing through it, was because he's came in as like this Zen meditation breathing expert, which I thought was pretty cool. He was my second favorite besides Courtney, and I really didn't want to see him go, but he just played with his heart and not with his mind, and I think that's what definitely caused the destruction. And that's what he says in the video, which you can actually reveal after you get blocked. So Brian is now blocked, but he can go see one other player on his way out, and he chooses River, who of course is actually Lee. He doesn't even seem to mind though. He says we're, in quotes, this is what he says, we're all playing a character. They hug it out, and Brian sees he's already a winner anyways. The episode ends with a shocking reveal. A new player is arriving tomorrow, and it's Lance Bass from NSYNC. Chloe doesn't know who he is, but says maybe Trevor has a little bit of a competition. No, he doesn't, and he doesn't even exist for that matter. And also, Lance Bass is gay. Okay. Anyways, I just want to make sure, because I did hear. Yeah, I'm right. Okay, I knew that, but I just wanted to double check. I don't know why, but I knew that for a fact. I did. Anyways, we learned that episode 3, it's not really Lance. It's his personal assistant, Lisa, who's worked for Nance for the past 14 years. So she's not really fully a catfish. She is a catfish, but she's playing Lance, who's actually her IRL friend. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like pretty much half and half. There's half real people, half fake. And at this point, it's drama, it's chaos. Courtney is the only one keeping it together. He has no idea what's happening. But the big fallout story, like that causes the drama from Bryant's elimination, is Terralisha pushes the blame on Savannah in a group chat, while Savannah insists it was a joint decision. Then Terralisha pulls aside Chloe and Emily for a True Colors chat and tells them Savannah wanted to get rid of one of them. So that's really what started the drama between Savannah and Terralisha was the Brian incident, and the reason Savannah wanted to get rid of Chloe and not Trevor was because Trevor and her had a connection more than Savannah and Chloe had a connection. And if she got rid of Trevor, she thought that Chloe would get rid of her. So she wanted to get rid of Chloe. That way, no, Trevor wouldn't really care because Trevor's not really Trevor, but she didn't know that. So pretty much, they play a game of truth or dare. It turns ugly real quick. Drama spills when Terralisha is asked who the biggest game player is, and she says Savannah, meaning she's just out here. She's not following through with anything she says. She's just playing you all like fake. You're all lies. It's just fake as hell. Then Savannah is asked who she trusts least in the game, and we're left on a cliffhanger at episode 3. But episode reveals her answer is obviously Terralisha. She adds she'll say anything to get you to like her, but when she's an influencer, she won't save you. That's tough, bro, because like that's just stirring the pot that was already boiling, dude. Like you try like flipping that bacon when it's already like, bro, that's gonna friggin' shoot some oil up into your eye socket. You're gonna get maybe a burn for like 3 hours. It's gonna hurt like hell. Courtney cheers on his girl Savannah, saying collect that wig, while Jack, aka Emily, observes Terralisha may be vegan, but it's beef for tonight for dinner, meaning, you know, obviously the joke. The next day, battle lines are clearly drawn. Trevor tells Savannah he's got her back, while Terralisha tries to reach out to Courtney, but they just fake their way through the whole cordial conversation because Courtney does not like Terralisha in any way, shape, or form, and I didn't like her either. I gotta be honest with you. I did like Savannah, and I did like Courtney. Savannah tries to get Chloe and Emily on her side with a real talk private chat, telling them bluntly, I do not trust Terralisha. And Chloe and Emily are both agreeing, but Courtney is just annoyed with Emily because Emily won't take a side. But they both eventually say they have Savannah's back. They'll support her against Terralisha. Chloe notes, though, I will be gobsmacked if I believe anything I just said. Meaning she's really for Terralisha, not really for Savannah, but mostly Terralisha. It's time to rate again, and Chloe and Emily are named influencers, with Terralisha and Savannah now ranked at the bottom due to the fight they had. So they went all the way from the top to the bottom. Courtney's been in the middle somewhere. I have to bring up Courtney every now and then because Courtney's just the man. He's the man with the plan. He came with a bit of joy and happiness, and he's coming out with the sass at the end of this. While she was right about that, it's time to rate each other again. And Chloe and Emily are named influencers, while Terralisha and Savannah now ranked at the bottom. Chloe and Emily, who are besties already, go through the candidates, and it comes down between the two troublemakers, and they block Savannah. So guess their hashtag team, Terralisha. After all, on her way out, Savannah is told to visit the person she thinks should win. And now this is where it gets very interesting. This is where the first twist, the first turn of events starts to happen. And of course, she picks Courtney, warning him about Terralisha and Emily, telling him you have to be a sneaky bitch to win. But in a final twist, because Savannah picked him, and this is what I was talking about, Courtney is told he has now access to the inner circle, which was not in season 1. And it wasn't in the trailer for season 2. It was a full-on twist they threw in the mix, and everybody has no idea, obviously, except for Courtney, who is summoned into a spaceship-looking room with a bunch of big monitors. And his reaction is literally, in quotes, what in the intergalactic flawness is this, honey? Okay. Wait, I did that kind of perfect. Hold up. We'll find out the answers to that in next week's episodes. So I am super, super excited about these. So that was the first 4 episodes, and it fades to black, and that's it. Until we got the next 4 episodes, which came out yesterday. which is exciting because I really do want to get into that. But before we do, we just want to take a look at the best moments in... Whose side were you on? Oh, there's like a voting thing, so I'm just going to do this real quick. Who should win the Circle Season 2? Obviously, Courtney. And everybody thinks that as well. The Circle recap Season 2, Episode 5. Joker with Michael and Kat, who are new to the game. But before we get into that, we just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Cinch Gaming. If you guys go head over to their website, you can literally customize any controller you want. Literally PS4, Xbox, whatever controller you want. Customize it to your liking. You can have back panels, anything you want on it. And at the checkout, excuse me, I can't really speak right now. Use the coupon code UNCUT, UNCUT, at checkout. And you get 10% off your first purchase. Isn't that a freaking deal and a half? No, anyways, let's get back to this. So the Circle recap, the Joker's Wild did a new twist, just changed the game. This is another new article that we're going to be talking about, deep diving into it. Courtney is now in this to win this. Savannah left him with a big role. Didn't know she was doing it until... she watched it at home because she got voted off. But, what, Bailey? All right, that's my cat. If you can hear, we're just going to ignore her like I do all my problems and hope they go away. Okay, warning. This post contains spoilers from Season 2, Episode 5. Don't read it if you don't want to know. Spoilers ahead, people. We've already been talking about 1 through 4. If you haven't seen Episode 5, I don't know what you're doing here. Get off. Go watch Episode 5. Go watch Courtney slay it. Okay, go watch Chloe be hot as hell, and we're going to have fun here. Being in the inner circle certainly has its privileges. Savannah chose Courtney as her pick to win on her way out. He was given access to the sci-fi looking inner circle room as well, with an alternate identity as the Joker. So 2 new players are now entering the circle, and the Joker gets to chat with them before anybody else does and spill the tea on literally what the fuck is going on in the circle. And try to get... Courtney wants to try to get him on his side with Savannah. Even though Savannah left, he still wants to take her name to the victory. He wants to bring the newbies along with him. And it's going to be hella crazy. So, the 2 new contenders that joined this game are Mitchell and Kat. And Mitchell is the brother of Season 1 contestant Ed. And Ed is the guy who brought his mother along with him in Season 1. He's a real bros, a workout fiend, and a ladies' man. But he's also a virgin. Don't know why he had to add that, but sure. Right away, he thinks Emily is hot, but has doubts about Lance's identity. Kat is a pro volleyball player with lots of energy. And they're both playing themselves. Her catfish alarm starts ringing when she looks at Emily's profile, saying that's definitely a bro typing on a girl's post. Which is true. Jack is playing Emily, so it does make sense that they would think that. So it starts off, the 2 newbies are chatting with each other, and the Joker comes in as, Courtney comes in as the Joker. And both of the new guys are told it's an existing player who joined to share information with them. And Courtney decides he doesn't want to write as himself because if asked later on who was the Joker and he was writing as himself, they're going to be, oh, it was Courtney. So Courtney decides to write in a girly way like he's Emily, saying, in quotes, "This is a dangerous game with lots of lying," calling out Teralicia and Chloe directly. When he exits the chat, Mitchell and Kat are left reeling. Welcome to the circle. They meet the rest of the gang via a 2-face game where the players share 2 photos of themselves, one naughty, one nice. Mitchell, the new guy, dives right in with a photo of him jumping in to a lake, naked, buns out, and proud. Chloe instantly smitten Trevor, who, because Chloe and Trevor had a thing in the first 4 episodes, and now Mitchell's in, and now Chloe doesn't want Trevor, she wants Mitchell, and openly flirts with him in the group chat, jumping up and down in her bed, celebrating when he says he's single. Well, at least he's real. Trevor sees an opportunity to open up about my beautiful black queens, with Terralicia and Kat asking them for advice about raising his baby daughter. Now, again, Trevor is played by his wife, Delicia, excuse me. And Kat asks about the turmoil the Joker mentioned, and Terralicia blames it on a now blocked player who shall remain nameless, but we know her name is Savannah. Chloe is starting to suspect Terralicia as a catfish. Later, Mitchell hits up Emily for a private chat, which like weirds Jack out because he's a dude and he has to flirt with another dude now. I mean, Mitchell falls for it in the end, so I guess it worked out. But like I said, we haven't really talked about River. River hasn't really done anything at this point to be talked about. I mean, he's played by Lee. He did win a poetry contest, or he's a writer. Lee is an author, so he wrote poetry. But no one, I think 2 people, the person he wrote it about didn't like it, but everybody else loved it. But in that poetry slam, Chloe ended up winning and taking it home because she wrote a rap, which is everybody liked. So the inner circle isn't done with Courtney just yet. He was able to chat with the 2 newbies. He was able to talk with them, but now he's called back for one last mission, and that is the power to choose one of the next influencers in the next blocking. And it's basically just the recap is that was the end of episode 5. Who will Courtney choose? What's going on? And so on and so forth. Excuse me. I apologize. So episode 6 picks off where Courtney doesn't really know who we can trust. So he ends up going with River, and this is where River starts getting very, very, very popular very, very quick. In episode 6, they have to do a new blocking, and it's him and Courtney. And since Courtney played as Emily as the Joker, everybody now suspects that it's Emily. So everybody voted Emily low, and everybody's voting Terralicia low, and you can't rate the 2 new players, and Lance is low because everybody suspects him as a catfish, even though it is his first rating, so no one really knows him, so he's low, which boosts Courtney all the way up to the top with Chloe. Courtney takes home first, Chloe takes home second, but since Courtney already picked his pick for the influencer, it's only him. Courtney wins it, and Courtney also chose Lee or River as the second influencer. So now they're both on the same page because they're both friends. They both know who's going out at the same time. They both vote Terralicia out. Terralicia is blocked immediately right after, and goes to see, drum roll please, she actually goes to see Chloe. And now Chloe, thinking she's a catfish, has a picture on her window of Terralicia saying cat wanted for being a catfish, and Terralicia walks in as herself, and Chloe is literally embarrassed. But before Terralicia got blocked, she was talking with Kat about who the Joker was, and Kat said that the Joker said the girls shouldn't be trusted. And the only other person who would know that would be Emily, because Emily is in a group chat with the girls. And so that leads Terralicia to think that the Joker was Emily and not Courtney. So Courtney's not even on anybody's radar at this point. Courtney's just vibing. He's just being himself. He's being his goofy, friggin' lovable self, doing the works out here. And everybody's blaming Emily. So that's, again, why Courtney was boosted so high. Emily boosted so low. And so she tells Chloe, to watch out for Emily because Emily is a dangerous player. She's behind everybody. So in episode 7, Chloe leaves Emily and goes right into the group with Courtney, Lee, and there's another player. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's Courtney, Lee, or River, excuse me. Courtney, River, Chloe. And I believe, I want to say, because I don't have episode 6 pulled up. Yeah, because this is season 1. I'm looking for season 2. Yep, and it's gonna be Trevor. So they're all in this group together. They're all vibing. They're all having fun. And now, when it comes down to it, they're like, I really am sus of Emily. You know, Chloe says her suspicions, and then she's starting to get suspicions about Trevor. But it's really because she's starting to have a little flirty flirt with Mitchell. And so Mitchell was like, is anybody here talking to Chloe? And Trevor, or Delisa, says, yes, I am. I've been having this flirty thing with Chloe for a bit. So Mitchell ends up telling Chloe he just wants to be her friend. Even though in the end it's going to suck for the both of them because she's going to realize that Trevor's not real, and he's gonna realize he just rejected her over a guy that's not even a guy. You know what I'm saying? So they're both gonna have a little awkwardness when the finale comes in. But yeah, no. Episode 6 ended pretty much with the whole drama kind of dying down. We have Terralisha out. We have the new alliance formed with Courtney, Trevor, Chloe, and River. And they're all sus of Emily. And episode 7 picks up with some beef. Okay. Mitchell makes a group chat with all the guys. So Mitchell, Trevor, Courtney, and River. And that's where Mitchell finds out Chloe's been talking with with Trevor. Sorry, again, there's no notes till episode 8 on my computer right now, and I don't know why. So I'm just kind of basing this off of memory. And they all talk about how they got each other's backs, which is true. And they said if you're talking to someone, you talk to someone, you can't be talking to me. Pretty much bro code. And Mitchell was like bros before hoes. All this other stuff that a jock bro guy would say. Sip my coffee real quick because your boy's throat's going away. But episode 7 really picks off this time because Kat is a big fan of NSYNC and a big fan of Lance Bass, but Lance Bass isn't playing Lance Bass, it's his assistant. So Kat went to a concert, an NSYNC concert when she was younger, and said she loved the black jacket he was wearing. And Lisa says, oh my gosh, thank you. And he wasn't wearing a black jacket. So she caught him in a lie, caught her in the ropes, and so now she knows that this isn't gonna work and that freaking Lance Bass is definitely a catfish. And after that happened, it was pretty much a steady evening until there was an alert, and we got a new game called Glamikins. And with this, it was one of the hosts of Queer Eye was telling them you have to decorate this makeup mannequin, and Jack was screwed because he has no idea. He's pretending to be a girl who should know how to do makeup, but has never touched makeup ever, and his was literally the worst one ever. Like, it was terrible. Absolutely horrific. And everybody saw it, and everybody called him out and said, that's not a girl. Because if it was a girl, she would know how to do makeup. And Jack knew it. He's like, yeah, this pretty much screwed my whole gameplay up. It fucked me over. It screwed my gameplay up, and now I'm pretty much stuck here doing absolutely nothing, which is terrible for him. And now there becomes a new blocking, but another twist. There's actually another twist after this one too. So the twist is there's actually no influencers during this blocking, and not one but 2 players are going to be eliminated. So everybody's freaking out. How is this going to happen? So when the ratings hit, the last 2 players will be blocked immediately. So 7th and 8th place will be blocked. And now this is where I got scared, because in number 1 spot, you had Chloe. Chloe was number 1. Even though she wasn't an influencer, she was number 1. She was happy where she was. 2 was, excuse me, River. 3, Trevor. 4 was, why can't I speak right now? No, excuse me. 4 was River. 3 was Kat. 5 was Mitchell. And I was like, where's Courtney on this list? Because I'm freaking out. And they said Mitchell for 5th. I was like, this is bad. It's either going to be Lance or Courtney, because I know Emily's going home, because no one voted her because of her makeup. So I was freaking out, literally. And that's when I posted on my story. I said, Courtney, what is going on? He viewed it, and I was like, okay, so we're best friends now. No, but I was freaking out. And then Courtney got 6th place, which means that Lance Bass, aka Lisa, and Emily, aka Jack, were sadly going home. So they were able to pick who they wanted to see. And Lance Bass chose River, because at the beginning of the show, River was like freaking out. It was him, but tried to keep it a secret, but he really didn't. He was just out there telling him that he was a big NSYNC fan. So this is another big twist here. So Lance Bass goes to see River and lands in the room. And all of a sudden you hear the door open and Emily walks in, or Jack. And he's freaking out because he went to go see, he went to go see Mitchell to talk to him and tell him, hey, look, have your thing with Chloe. I'm a dude, you know what I'm saying? But they met each other. And all of a sudden the screen on the TV went alert. And this is the twist we get. Okay. Towards the end of Season 2, Episode 8, the circle entitled Damage Control, Catfish players Jack as Emily and Lisa as Lance are both eliminated from the show. Before they leave for good, they are told that they can meet one player face to face, while Jack sees Trevor. Okay, Trevor, not Mitchell. It was Trevor, my fault. And Lisa chooses to say goodbye to River, who's Lee. Yet, once they are directed out of their apartments, they end up in a new place altogether and meet each other. And an additional plot twist where they are given a chance to re-enter the game, but the condition is they have to play together under a new shared Catfish profile. So now that we've seen the mask they'll don, let's find out who the older man they'll pretend to be is. And we got a little tease, because that was pretty much it. They were told they were going to play a new character. He was older. We were shown the profile picture, and then it ended altogether. The older man we meet at the end of Season 2, Episode 8 of the Circle Control Damage Control is someone Jack Atkins and Emily will name John. John will be introduced to the game as a new contestant altogether, and the others will be completely unaware of the fact that the 2 most recent boot players are the ones behind the mask. In fact, the face of John will be provided to Jack and Lisa by the circle itself, allowing them to build a profile based on his looks alone. Which we now know he's a psychic, hometown, Morgantown, West Virginia, and his About Me page says, hey everybody, I'm John, full-time psychic, part-time Santa who loves adventures, partner of 38 years, my amazing husband Terry, and father to 3 incredible children. I love to cook. Cozy. And hold on, and that's all we get for that because it's an image and it cuts off at the bottom. So it says, therefore, the Joel will turn to John, 64-year-old innocent looking full-time psychic part-time Santa from Morgantown, West Virginia. Jack and Lisa will presume the fake gay father is gay with 3 children, which will be enough to convince the opponents that he's a genuine stand-up guy. Excuse me. The profile they portray, they believe would be beneficial as them if not only never make John a target, but would allow them to have freedom of manipulating the others as well as they can for the $100,000 prize. This also says related. Where is Courtney Revolution now? I do want to click on this. Yeah. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure that I hate to say it, but I really do think that John, aka Emily, and Lance are not going to make it far in the competition because I feel like they're just not going to try to make the connection with the older guy. And seeing as he's a psychic, I remember Courtney in the preview saying, oh, you better not say something he'll know. And but also, he could go pretty far seeing as he already knows the players because it's 2 older players. And so they're going to try to introduce themselves and be fake and be kind. It's like, you said this in the beginning, but now you're saying this to John. Like, that's what's going to trip him up, and that's what's going to make him fall. My thoughts, I think Courtney's going to take it all the way. It's been my thoughts since day one. Courtney's just real. He's honest. He's open. He's funny, so everybody loves him. And he's not really at the bottom anymore. He was at the bottom first episode, and then he was middle, and now he's top, and now he's pretty much just not doing anything, really. Like, he's just sitting at the top. He's pretty confident up there. My top 5, I would say, would have to be Courtney, Chloe, River. Well, there's only... Okay, Courtney, Chloe, River, Trevor, and there's Kat. Those are my top 5. So I don't think Emily... Like I said, I don't think the John character, Emily, and them are going to stay. And so that's 6 players left. So that's pretty much it. I mean, top 3, if I had to go, would be Courtney, Chloe, Lee. Right off the bat. And if not Lee, definitely Kat. Because Kat's been real as well. Since she's got in, she was really late into the game. Like I said, came in episode 5. Courtney was able to talk to her beforehand, telling her Terralicia's catfish, fake, fraud. And Terralicia, after she got voted out, Kat was like, oh, they did her dirty. But she never really talked to her besides one conversation. I think she had about the who do you guys think? And Terralicia said, oh, it was the drama was started by a now blocked character. And as Terralicia left, the video message she left said that she knows who the Joker is, thinking it's Emily. And that scared Courtney because he is the catfish. And if she's just speculating, saying, I know who you are, that's going to frick up Courtney's game. Big time. But, I mean, that's it for now, really. I mean, top 3 again, Courtney, Chloe, Lee. If not Lee, it's going to be Kat. 100%. I'm very excited for the next few episodes. I'll definitely be doing another podcast on the next 4. Definitely going to give my closing thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. We did a 40-minute podcast video on this whole topic. I'm very excited. Like I said, tomorrow we have the Falcon and Winter Soldier finale. I do want to get a podcast video in there before I do it. So when I come home tonight, I'll probably film a little bit of a video in there. But this definitely is going to be out before the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and smash the subscribe button down below if you're new. And hit that notification bell because I post vlogs, I post other content, I post skits, I post podcasts. So you'll never miss out if you just hit the bell. I love you guys to death. All my socials are down in the description below. Go ahead and check them out. It's just help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? And pray for me because I do want to get on season 3 of The Circle. I applied and we'll see how it goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's a wrap on Uncut Podcast, The Circle Talk edition. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.